Fellas, I've got something different for you for this week's retro review. It's Shenmue Remastered. Well, it was on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Released late last summer and new to Xbox Game Pass, and therefore I thought, why not? I played a little tiny bit of Shenmue back on the Dreamcast at a friend's house, played a few hours of Shenmue 2 and lost interest, and I have said before that this series is overrated, and now having played through it, I think I am largely sticking to my guns. Shenmue is a Sega game created by Yu Suzuki, released in late, actually on my birthday, in Japan that is, 1999 for the Sega Dreamcast. This is a very grand scope game, a very ambitious title, one that looked amazing back in its day, and with the upscaled effects, I think looks sharp, but retains that Dreamcast vibrant, appealing look of its time. It's an art style that I think ages well enough. Players take on the role of Ryu Hazuki, a young, dashing Top Gun Tom Cruise looking guy in 1986 Japan. He's looking for Lan Di, the man who killed his father. And so he just goes around looking for that. He gets one little tiny kernel of clue. Oh, hey, they sped away in a car. Did you see the car? The car, it hit that kitten's mom. Okay, well, what'd you know about it? Did you see it? We need to find the other person who saw it. I spent the first 2 hours knocking on every door in town to no avail. This game doesn't entirely hold your hands, and it expects you to do things when it wants you to. Let me explain. Now, all the people I needed to talk to were actually out on the street, just not necessarily at the same time. This game has a living storyline. The NPCs have their own lives. They go to and from work, and you need to catch them while they're at work, or they're going to be pissed off on the way back home and not answer your questions. There's a lot to do in this living, breathing world, though maybe the stuff you want to do, you don't get to do a whole lot. Now, like, who could forget those 2 minutes where you rode a motorcycle? I mean, I was going around asking people the same questions, hoping they'd give me more answers forever. Your clues take you to the harbor, where you have to get a job at working a forklift, and probably the most challenging thing in this game is winning a forklift race. And you have to adhere to that schedule. I spent so much time running a forklift and moving crates that I want to get paid in cash. Now, there is some hyping up the realism in this game. You have weather conditions that don't really affect a whole lot. You can go into an arcade and play old vintage Sega games. There's little trinkets for you to collect, even though Virtua Fighter didn't exist in 1986. Now, you don't really deal with dialogue trees here so much as you just keep questioning people, hoping they give you more information. And this is not, dare I make this comparison, Life is Strange material. You get a new appreciation for voice acting and script writing in video games when you play an older game like this. I mean, look at how wooden and stiff Ryu is with the hot chick.
Nozomi.
Ryo?
You got a minute?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I changed my mind.
What? You don't trust me?
I'm sorry.
So talk to me.
Yeah.
And what about the fighting? This was a game with a vaunted 70-man battle. Yes, it turned out not to be all that exciting, really. You don't even pick up much fighting until you get harassed by guys working your forklift. And then this little gang goes and fight you, you beat them up. And good luck pulling off any of these combat moves when you're constantly having your animation interrupted by random punches, which leads you to spam your most powerful moves that you've set to a hotkey, or simply run at guys and kick them. You have these quick time events. In fact, I don't think before this game people called stuff quick time events. Yeah, you enjoy every game now interrupting your cinematic cutscenes so you can push a button at the right time or face the consequences. Thanks a lot, Shenmue. And as you've known for half the game, Lan Di isn't even in town anymore. He's gone to Hong Kong, and eventually you have to fight Gollum and then head to Hong Kong yourself. What a shocker. Shenmue raises more questions than it has answers. Who is this chick I'm dreaming about that it can be seen in the opening cinematic? What the hell? Is her name Shenmue? Shenmue? Like, is this some kind of Legend of Zelda thing, but Link is the good guy? It's not called Ryo. Oh, but I'm sure you probably find out more in Shenmue 2, right? Well, I played a little bit of that and I was really hyper confused. Look, this game and its sequel require a walkthrough to have any fun at all. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun learning somebody's phone number and then having to write it down so you can then use it on a payphone instead of your character memorizing it. I mean, hell, the game actually has the balls to end with "and so the saga begins," making an entire video game like some kind of precursor to clickbait, begging for a sequel here. Now, I could play through Shenmue 2, but I can tell already that the meager views I'm going to get on this won't justify it, and I have to be thinking, does Shenmue 2 have an equally dissatisfying ending, and that is the reason why people are clamoring for a Shenmue 3? Oh hey, it left off on a cliffhanger. I've been waiting so many years. I've been waiting 18 years for answers. Come on, Shenmue 3. Shut up and take my money. Let's not lie to ourselves here. Ryo is not a compelling protagonist. He is stiff, wooden, lifeless, has no charisma whatsoever. And this is not an amazing story. Shenmue is hyper ambitious, maybe didn't quite have the technology to keep up with the vision. I can't entirely fault that, but it is overrated nonetheless. I give Shenmue a 7.9 out of 10.